I want to start chiseling out the remaining material that I didn't remove using the coping saw. The goal is to have a very crisp line and not go lower or higher than the line. I might have to do that in 2 steps. If I have too much material, I'll first use this thin, this is about 5/16 of an inch Japanese chisel. It can be any kind of chisel. I prefer a thin one because it's much more proficient at removing a lot of material. Once I'm satisfied with how close I actually got to the line, I'm going to use this very wide, it's 20 millimeters, it's about 3/4 of an inch wide, to basically just place it on the line and tap it slightly so I make a very, very crisp line. Now, usually I start working from the back of the piece and I go midway, and then I'm going to flip things over and start from the front of the piece. One of the extremely important things when it comes to chiseling, especially when I'm going to get close to the line, is not to try to keep the chisel perfectly straight. Try to keep it at maybe a 1 or 2 degree angle inside. The chisel will have the tendency to slip a little bit forward, and I'm going to make a triangle which is going to prevent the tails and pins coming together. It's going to be very annoying, and you spend a lot of time removing that small piece of wood. If I hold it a little bit tilted, I'm going to go enough inside. Remember that most of the glue surface comes from the pins, not from the sides. So it's far more important to actually get crisp lines here rather than having a perfect glue surface. This is how I'm holding the chisel. I'm actually going to support it with this finger so I can do very precise placement. Remember, this small chisel I'm going to use just to get close to the line, not to actually cut the line. And then I'm going to tap it with this mallet. You can use any mallet you're comfortable with. This is on the heavier side, but I really like it. All right. And again, I have to go only up to the middle of the line, and I just want to get close. I don't want to touch the line. The line I'm going to refine with a wider chisel. So it takes reasonably little effort to actually do this. You don't have to hit it hard. You're going to go through the piece if you do so. Right, now I'm actually ready for the wide chisel. I have to place it on the line that I made with the marking tool. Okay, you have to be careful not to touch the pins. And again, I'm going to hold it slightly at an angle. I want to have about a 64 of an inch that I'm removing, because then I'm not going to actually start going into this piece, and I'm going to get a very, very clean line. Just tap it, slightly go about halfway through the piece. If I don't have enough room to use this wide chisel, I'm going to move to the 1/2 inch chisel, which is the case in these situations. Right, so then I'm switching to 1/2 inch, or if you have one that's closer, it's good as well. So again, very light taps. Right on the line, you want to stabilize the chisel on the line. Now, you can get even more precise if you do the so-called parting. The wood is so thin now that you can actually push the chisel by hand. You can just push a little bit down, and you're going to cut very, very nice. This is what I've done so far. I started from the back of the piece. I start chiseling things out. You see that I still have this debris here. And notice how crisp a line I managed to do by essentially getting very close and then just tapping a little bit with the much wider chisels. Right? If you're going to try to do this with a thin chisel, or when you have a lot of material, the line will start moving down, and actually you will get a very ugly line in here. Remember that the quality of the dovetails is dictated not only by how the pin area looks like, but also how the straight lines look like. we are done cutting the pins, we cleaned up everything, we are ready now to start marking the tails and then cut the tails. The way the marking is going to go is first I'm going to make sure that the right pieces are put together. If I'm marking the wrong things, I might never be able to put the box in the right order. And right, so this is my back side and this is my left side. They actually have to come together here. Right, so what I'm going to do is I will support with a clamp the back piece, and this is the way the left piece is going to go. Since the back piece is actually supported with the clamping system, I can focus on holding this piece straight up and marking. In order to mark, I usually like to use mechanical pencils. They are always reliable. Right? So what I'm going to do is hold the pin piece straight up. The tail piece is with the back up clamped on the system. Right? I'm going to hold it with the left hand and start marking with the right hand. Trick is to be very, very consistent, because bad marking usually means bad dovetails. I usually mark every line at least twice to make sure that I'm not going to have portions that are not actually marked.